As you can tell, we've got quite the scene here. We've had some serious flooding that has happened, and I've got several people here that will speak to you what has transpired over these last 24 hours that has impacted our community. I have Mayor Wilson Edwards, Interim President Mindy Benson, County Commissioner Mike Blake, and George Colson with Iron County Emergency Management here today. Just to start off on our end, we want to let our community know how much we appreciate everything that everyone's doing to assist in these efforts to help our community move through this. So I'll turn the time over to our mayor, and she can address more so what is going on.
We'll run that. Good. Good afternoon. I am Mayor Miley Wilson Edwards. As Clint mentioned, and you can see behind me, we have cleanup efforts going on throughout our community. Yesterday, Monday, May 26, 2021, Cedar City experienced a large flood. It led to me declaring a state of emergency here in our community. Preliminary data shows that we received over 2 inches of rain in an hour, which puts us at a 500-year flood capacity. Our systems were overwhelmed with the amount of rain in such a short period of time, and that is part of what has led to this extensive damage you see. We have businesses, student housing, apartments, residential homes that have all experienced substantial flooding. Some have become uninhabitable in the past 24 hours since this all began. Our city crews have spent all of last night and all through today working on getting roadways back open, getting the debris cleaned up, pumping out homes, pumping out businesses, working on traffic control and checking infrastructure, working on storm drains, as we are projected to have increased rains throughout the end of this week and into the weekend. We will continue to work together as a community. That is one of the hallmarks of Cedar City, is the volunteer spirit. You can see that in the forefront with friends, residents, the community and businesses, along with the city crews all coming together. Last night, a Red Cross shelter was set up for those individuals that needed it. The Red Cross location is at 61 North, 900 West. The city and Iron County both have sandbags available. They have come in from multiple different surrounding jurisdictions to get sandbags into our area. If volunteers would like to assist with filling sandbags, they're both at the City Public Works Building and also the County Road Department. And those will be available to residents free of charge. Just go and pick up what you need to protect your homes and businesses as the rain is projected in the forecast. And overall, I just would like to again thank our many residents that have banded together, that continue to help one another, that continue to look out for our students, for our businesses, for our homeowners, and come together to do what they can to help get this mess cleaned up and also prevent additional flooding into the future.
Mayor, do you have an estimate on how many displaced?
I know that there was over 20 that were at Red Cross yesterday that had to use the Red Cross facilities last night.
Any idea of like a dollar estimate at all?
We are not to that point yet. We're still trying to get all of the major infrastructure and home damage assessed, and also businesses. So we'll turn the time over to President Mindy Benson.
Good afternoon. We appreciate your interest and support of our community. First and foremost, our hearts go out to all of those impacted by this flooding. It's been a devastating loss, and it's been humbling to be on the ground today and to see what people are suffering and going through. So we appreciate the support, and we are humbled by the rally of our community. Our community always rallies and shows up, and we appreciate that. We sustained some minor damage on campus. There is some damage, but it pales into comparison with our residents and our students who have lost homes and belongings. We have about 200 students who have been displaced. We are putting them in our university housing for the next 30 days, short term until their apartments are available again or until we can find them housing. I have genuinely appreciated working with the leadership in this community, with the county and the city, and coming together to get the infrastructure that we need to help our campus and to help our students and to help this community at this time. Are there any questions?
Where exactly around campus saw flooding or any damage?
We saw flooding, especially in our football stadium. Our turf field and parts of the stadium were flooded. There's a piece of the student center, the Ashcroft Observatory Road, was partially wiped away, and there's some minimal damage to a few different places here and there, but again, nothing compared to what our community has sustained. So we're here to rally for them and to rally our students. It's been heartwarming to see that.
So those students have 30 days in your student housing to try and get their situations figured out?
We'll keep them in student housing as long as we can. The problem is when school starts, we have full housing. Because it's summer school right now, we have beds available, so our students are able to move in there and we're able to accommodate them. Our community showed up and are bringing food and meals and clothing, whatever our students may need, and that's been wonderful to see. We'll keep them in there as long as we can and then help them find housing if their permanent housing has not been repaired yet.
I know there's been a housing shortage at SUU, a lot of students struggling to find that, so how are you guys working around that?
We have actually been able to find quite a few places for students to live. As our community always does, they step forward and they have been willing to take our students in. So they have taken students in to the point that we have accommodated quite a few of the students that needed housing. This will put an interesting kink in it with 200 students needing beds, but I'm confident that between the housing that we have and the community spirit that is willing to step up and help like they always do, that we'll be able to accommodate those students and take care of their needs. Great question.
About how many students stayed at the Eccles building last night?
We had 13 in rooms, but quite a few of them just went with friends or whatever they could find last night. We've reached out to them today, and we would expect more in our housing units tonight.
And the fall semester starts in 3 weeks?
It starts September 9th, so we have some time that we can take care of these students. If there's anything good about this, it's the timing that we're able to take care of our students and help with the community for the next few weeks.
In addition to housing, are there other needs unique to the students that they may have?
I think just community members putting an arm around them if their parents are in California or Salt Lake or wherever they may be and they're unable to have family here. I think knowing that people care has meant a lot to our students, and just basic needs. You know, we had a music major today that she was saying, my guitar, all my instruments, everything got washed away. So we'll get to work replacing some of that stuff for them.
Yeah, I was going to say, are you guys allocating some funding to replace any valuables they lost? Is there kind of like an insurance?
We're working on that right now. We have allocated time for both students and faculty and staff to address needs. We had faculty and staff lose houses and have damage. So we allowed them to take some time as needed to address those needs, and then we'll talk about funding and how we can best be helpful. Thank you. I'll now turn the time over to Commissioner Mike Blake.
I got it. Maybe.
Perfect.
Do you have two mics plugged in?
I believe so.
There's just one
Is there?
sticking out.
Oh, the other.
Make sure both of them are on your collar.
I turned down help. Maybe I should have.
It's right here.
It's not as easy as it looks.
No, and I've done this before, but I struggle some days.
I had a pocket right here.
Thank you guys for doing that with the mic, by the way.
Oh no.
Happy to do it. You want me to hold them?
Oh, that'd be great. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mike Blake. I'm the current chairman of the Iron County Commission. One of my duties as Iron County Commission is to work with emergency management as well as our public safety divisions. So this kind of falls to me. First of all, we are very thankful to all of the community outreach that we have gotten. Our citizens have come together in an amazing fashion to reach out and help their friends and their neighbors, which has taken a huge burden off of our public safety resources. For that, we need to thank you. Just a brief timeline of kind of how things evolved yesterday. Once the rains hit, it became immediately evident that we were going to experience flooding, and happened almost immediately. We were able to reach out to the Red Cross. I was able to coordinate with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints yesterday to provide a place for our emergency Red Cross shelter. Some of the other things that we've done to benefit our community is our county landfill stayed open late last night. We had a lot of help shuttling debris to the landfill, which was awesome. Our landfill at this point will be open regular hours unless there's a need, but all fees are being waived for construction type debris for at least the next week, and then we'll assess from there. We don't want to place any undue burden on anyone for needing to clean up. Truly one of the coolest things about this is our coordination with both Mayor Wilson Edwards, President Benson. We immediately came together, reached out to our other cities in the county, Enoch City, Paraguna, Parowan, Summit, and Canaryville, and tried to address everyone's needs at a county level, and it was great. Worked out really well. One thing that we have just done as a county, literally now, the county, as the city declared an emergency last night, the county has just declared an emergency as well, and we're in the process of filing those documents to declare an official emergency. What that's going to do for some of our outlying areas that sustain damage, but maybe not as much as Cedar City, to reach that threshold to be able to declare an emergency in their own communities. We're going to do that as a county, which will help, hopefully in the future, offset some of those costs for our surrounding areas, Canaryville, Enoch, Summit, Parowan, Paraguna, kind of the east side of the valley that's been affected the most. As far as needs for volunteers, And I'm going to turn the time over to our emergency manager here in 1 second. But what we do need, I just came from the Red Cross shelter. They're in need of just some volunteers, some warm bodies. They've got a ton of supplies and not a lot of bodies to help. There is a group of students from Southern Utah University over there right now that are doing an amazing job, but if anybody does have a little bit of spare time, if they want to check into the Red Cross station down at 61 North, 900 West, it's at the LDS Chapel there on the corner. Red Cross is in need of some warm bodies to help dispense some of these things. The other thing, we have approximately 20,000 sandbags that we were able to get in last night. Like we've mentioned, we are expecting more weather. Hopefully we have a break for a couple of days, and later this week and early in the weekend we're expecting more severe weather. Our goal is to fill all 20,000 of those sandbags and have them available or deployed before we get hit again to mitigate some of that damage to our infrastructure and our citizens. Again, I just want to reach out to everyone who's helped us. It's been an amazing collaboration. Thank you very much. And I will turn the time over to Mr. Colson for just a minute to kind of talk about some of the emergency management logistics. Help a guy out.
You will edit this part out.
This is the part we're going to include.
This is the part that shows what's really going on
Real
behind the
true
scenes.
behind the scenes.
Wait, could we get a first and last name here for Mr. Colson?
George Colson, C-O-L-S-O-N, just like Chuck. For those of you old enough to remember Chuck Colson.
Let me see that one.
Spelled the normal way.
Huh?
George is spelled normal.
Yeah. Yeah. No strange spellings.
Iron County Emergency Management, correct?
Do you want me to shuffle too?
No, I can do it. Thank you. Yeah, Iron County Emergency Manager. Yeah. All right. Based on the flooding that happened last night in Cedar and some in Enoch and several nights ago in Parowan and Paraguna, as Commissioner Blake said, we've decided to declare a countywide emergency. We've got crews down right now at the county road yard filling sandbags. Volunteers have been absolutely fantastic. We've had people from all over the community show up. That's been great. The Red Cross has agreed to continue to hold their shelter open until after Friday. So we're waiting to see what damage we may come up with Thursday and Friday, and those storms may last into next week. So we're just kind of bracing for all of that. The state has been fantastic. I've got Washington County is bringing up a crew of trained damage assessors to assist Cedar City tomorrow, and the Red Cross, after our storms on Friday, has agreed to send trained damage assessors in to assess those damages. So we're going to be able to do plenty of damage assessment and do it really accurately. Our county road crews have been fantastic, filling sandbags, working all night, again, as the city people did, moving stuff, clearing roads. We're just, the community is coming together and working like it should. It's one of the benefits of living in a small rural county.
Can we talk a little bit about these other communities? Enoch, I know, it sounds like there was a few days of flooding, and then yesterday, again, so people might not realize what some of these other communities are dealing with.
Well, as a matter of fact, off camera is Rob Dotson, who's the Enoch city manager, and his mayor are back there. And so maybe they were hit hard a couple of days ago, but last night I understand it was much less damage. They're shaking their heads yes, so that's good. I'm on point on that one. However, Paraguna, which is in the northeast part of the county got hit particularly hard the other night and had 6 feet over their flood control ditch. So that was some severe damage, had some road damages. So we've had some other places in the county, and that's why the county made that decision to declare a countywide emergency.
Can you talk about what this flooding event is like compared to previous events?
Well, first of all, nothing much happens in Iron County to disturb our quiet lifestyle, and I think this is just a shock. We haven't had a flood in about, well, even any flooding probably in the last 2.5 years or more, and so this came as a real shock, and I don't think a lot of people were prepared for it. A lot of people now are reassessing where they built and how high they built and how they built, and so that's going to be a conversation that's going to go on beyond this flood. So floods are always fires. We were worried about fires for weeks on end, and instead of burning up, now we're going to drown. So we're, if it isn't one thing, it's another. So, but yeah, this has come as a shock to, I think, a lot of people in the area.
And how can people prepare besides
City engineer, county engineer, looking at the elevation of their home, looking at how the drainage is. That's really an engineering question. I'm not an engineer, so, but those are just common sense, precautions they can take. And right now, we're just in a bunker mentality where people are grabbing sandbags as fast as I can fill them and building walls around their homes. So that's where we're at right now. All right. Any other questions? All right.
I'll just wrap it up and then we'll be done.
How many wires have you got on me there?
What?
How many wires have I got on me?
You have 2.
Okay. There you are. There.
Is that good? All right. Again, I am Miley Wilson Edwards, the mayor here in Cedar City, and I just want to reiterate what has been said. This has been a heartbreaking past 24 hours for our community, for the residents, for the businesses that have lost their homes, had such significant damage. I want our residents to know that you're not alone in this process, that we are here for you, we are here with you. The city crews, we will continue to work. We have roadways that are closed due to damage. We're going to continue to work to make sure that the public infrastructure is cleaned up, that it is safe, that storm drains are prepared. As I said, we're going into a number of additional days of flooding, and so we're going to continue to focus on these areas, but also addressing the other areas throughout the community so that those residents are also prepared with this additional flooding. But overall, know that the city is here. We're standing behind you and beside you, and we're working hand in hand to take care of our residents and do what we can. We've been in contact last night with the governor's office, with the lieutenant governor's office, other agencies within the state, Washington County, and so we truly appreciate all of the partners both within our county and outside that have come together. Local businesses are donating supplies for those that are displaced, in addition to volunteering with their own equipment to help clear debris and take care of our residents. So this is truly a community built on volunteerism, and there is no better demonstration than when we all come together to serve one another. So for the residents, know we are here and we'll continue to be here to help you as much as we can in the days and weeks to come. Thank you.